Hello and welcome to episode 17 of the Critical Twits. Today we're going to be talking about abstract puzzle games that you can play with your friends. Welcome back. I'm Brian.
I'm Colin.
And I'm Aaron.
And you're in the wrong order.
Yes.
You've mixed it up. Disgusting.
Oh, it's because Aaron's in my seat.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're in mine, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, we obviously go clockwise, starting with me. It's like playing a board game, which brings me to our topic today, board games. We're going to talk about some abstract puzzle games that we've been playing recently.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the ball-based puzzler Dimension.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the picture-based puzzler Dixit.
Yay.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about the ghost-based puzzler Mysterium, with added pictures.
Yes.
No balls.
Oh, well, I mean, the little markers you get are
Ball
ball-shaped.
They are. They've got crystal balls. Excellent. Welcome to the Balls and Pictures episode.
Well, it was inevitable if we wanted to be famous on the internet.
Or balls and pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could Kim Kardashian it up with some naked selfies.
No.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I don't want to see pictures of myself naked. I can't imagine what other people
It's
would
more,
do.
it doesn't matter how much photoshopping I do, I will not make it Brian look good. There's
Oh, cheers, buddy. Put some extra
Enlarged.
hair on me. Where do you want to start? Should we start with Dimension?
Yeah, we'll start Dimensions because it's most... It's easiest to describe.
Yeah. Colin, tell us exactly. You look so annoyed. Yes, is it Dimension or Dimensions?
I thought it was Dimension. It's Dimensions.
Dimensions.
I thought
okay.
Dimensions.
Yeah, that makes sense. So Dimensions is a puzzle game where you have to stack different coloured balls on top of each other.
Yep.
You have 4 different colours of balls, or 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Five different coloured balls. And you will draw a set of cards each round that give you rules. So you might not be allowed to have any of your blue balls touching your black balls. What's funny about that? Grow up, guys.
Oh, mature podcasting.
You might have to place your white balls on top of the other balls. They can't be underneath anything because they'll get squashed.
That's where a lot of people want.
You might have to have more green balls than orange balls. And you've got lots and lots of these cards. That you get 6 in the middle. So every single time you play, theoretically, mathematically speaking, each round should be completely different.
Yes.
You then have a timer that's flipped over and you have to arrange your balls in a pyramid. I'm laughing now. And who at the end you check to make sure you haven't broken any of the rules.
Yep.
And you get a certain number of points based on how well you did.
Yes.
We've played this a few times, Aaron. You've played this once, Colin.
Yep.
At the...
Actually, I'll have you know, I
Game-
played it twice.
You played it twice?
Yeah, fucking hated it as much as the first time. Yeah.
So what didn't you like about it?
It was, well, no, I can see why it was a good game. A couple of the people we were with were thoroughly enjoying themselves because they like that type of quick thinking and...
You took a deep
Logical.
breath like you were going to say something really mean.
I was trying not to say their names because we're not allowed to.
Okay.
But yeah, that's...
Susan and Terence?
We don't know any girls, Brian.
I met one once.
Yeah, it's very logical and quick thinking, and I'm neither logical or quick thinking.
Oh, bless you.
I do remember after the first game we played, I think we turned to each other and went, my brain hurts.
It really, really did. Bear in mind, it might have been the choice of venue because I was being stressed out that entire weekend and going for a cigarette every 15 seconds. So by the end, by playing one of those games, my brain was actually leaking out of
Although,
ears.
having played it in a quieter environment, so you didn't have all the other distractions, my brain still hurt playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have played it since, but that was with children, which is not entertaining at all.
You played it with children?
Yeah.
Did you beat them?
No. Because I'm neither logical or quick thinking.
Now, it sounds really dry, and that description probably sounded a little bit flat. You know, you stack up some balls in a pyramid on the timer. But actually, I quite like it. It's a puzzle. As I said, it changes every single time, which I quite like because I'm easily bored.
Yeah.
And I would remember the solutions because I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I can remember things like that.
Yeah.
It's a curse. It's a gift. It makes me who I am.
That's why we can't beat him at Streets of Rage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Street Fighter.
So he cheats.
Because my brain will still remember exactly how everything works 20 years later.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you what I had for dinner yesterday. Did I eat yesterday?
I can't remember either.
What's dinner?
The thing you shovel in your face occasionally, I think.
It's the beginning of the Batman theme. Dinner, 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 dinner.
Oh, God.
If you haven't heard, listen to our Batman podcast that we did last week. We said he was a fascist. I stand by that 100%.
You got really angry.
I did.
Yeah.
Don't like fascists.
Well, yeah, fair enough. But he's a fictional character. He's not going to register your hatred of his fascism.
Yeah.
But he's...
And most fascists tend to channel that hatred. So good. Glad you hate me, because you're not the sort of person I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Opening that under the table won't help you, Colin.
Yes, it will.
So I enjoyed playing with Dimensions balls.
Yeah.
I like the fact it's on a timer, because it induces quite a nice sense of panic when you realise that, holy shit, you've left a blue ball at the bottom and you shouldn't have done that, and you've got 2 balls touching, and it's all terrible.
They were very kind of the convention not to put that timer on us for a start. Just let's get used to it, and it's still stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, what, we had 3 or 4 rules?
Yeah, I think
I was just I can only concentrate on one at a time. It's like, right.
Yeah.
I'll build a pyramid with this one rule. I've forgotten the other 3.
It needs to have whites not on the top. Put all the whites at the bottom, then you look across. Oh, they're not allowed to be touching. Bum. Because you will come across rules that conflict with each other, so you can't complete them.
Yeah, so you then
choose.
There are alternate rules where you swap those ones out.
Yeah.
Or you take them out, or you do other things.
I like that being in there, because it means that you're going, all right, I need to fit all these rules, and you've got one that doesn't quite fit, so you've got a brief second where you have to pick one or the other.
Yeah, and it slows you down, and it makes you hesitate, and it gives you a choice and an option, and when you're trying to stack all your balls together in a minute, it's actually quite tricky to do that. It does slow you down. I like it. I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
And normally I'm quite competitive when we play competitive games. I want to win. I go into that knowing I'm not going to win.
Yeah.
I still get a little bit competitive, but not as much as I normally would, because it's not really a strength of mine, that 3-dimensional thinking. Colin's really bad at 3-dimensional thinking. What do you do during the day, Colin?
I make 3D models.
Excellent.
I was really surprised about that, because
I thought you'd be really good at it.
Yeah, because you have to have a particular way of thinking. You have to be good at 3D thinking. Is a distinct part of your brain.
Yep.
That not very few, but a very distinct level of people are actually good at. It's a difficult part of the brain that's very, very recently been evolved.
Yep.
As a concept, as a area of the brain. You obviously have it developed because you're able to do 3D modelling to an incredibly good standard.
Oh, thank you.
And yet you're rubbish at this.
Yep. Do you know why? And here's a little cheat idea. You know when I'm building a 3D model?
Yeah.
I build a 2D model, then turn it to the side, and then build a 2D model, and then turn it to the side. I build it as lots of 2D parts that sew together.
Is that why it takes you so bloody long?
Yeah.
Oh, Colin!
Well, no, that's same way around it.
Same as when I used to do my old GW paintings. I'd always paint them from one angle and then go, oh, hang on, there's the rest of a model here. I forgot about that bit.
Your painting is amazing, though, Colin. We should definitely do some painting videos.
Yeah, we should.
And some painting lessons.
I think the problem is it's not the 3D building of the pyramid, it's the multiple rules at once.
Yeah.
It's like what we're saying, well, it's not like anything at all, but like Malifaux.
Okay.
Malifaux, I could not get the hang of 4 rules that I've got to pick 2, and they've picked 2, and I've got to remember 4 different rules.
Because you don't know which ones they've picked, so you've got to bear them all in mind at once.
And my head bled, and I lost the game without even... I might as well have not been playing.
Thank you. Glorious victory.
Now, I've got a bit more used to it. I'm actually not bad at Malifaux.
Yeah.
And I've got used to the multiple rules, so maybe if I kept playing it, I would have... I'd get better at it.
Yeah.
I think at the time I didn't enjoy it because there was 600 people bumping into the back of me constantly.
Yeah, it wasn't...
Some people pay good money for that.
They do. I didn't get paid at all.
Yeah. No, I really enjoy it as a game. I'm reasonable at it.
It's not the kind of game you build a gaming night round. You won't say, come over and we'll play Dimensions and we'll stack some balls.
It makes a really good game.
Filler.
Yeah. While you're setting up another game, you get a couple of people, or I think 4 people can play at once.
Yeah, well, you could in theory buy multiple boxes and all just play together because you've got the cards in front of you.
Our friend
has got
2 sets.
2 sets of balls.
Yeah, I mean,
this is terrible. Sorry, Dimensions.
I think if we were having a gaming night again, it's something I'd play for 20 minutes or so. I'd be rubbish at it.
Yeah, a game doesn't take that long because it's 5 or 6 rounds. Each round is it a minute or 90 seconds?
A minute, I think.
A minute, yeah. So, and then you set up and you count and you do that, which takes long. So yeah, it took 20-30 minutes for a game.
About the same time it takes to set up Twiglet Imperium.
Oh god.
Yeah, no, that's just to count out the pieces of Twiglet Imperium and to remove the space turtles so that Brian doesn't get them, otherwise he gets upset. Yeah, it's a really nice game. It's a different part of your brain, I think, to what a lot of games
definitely
aim for.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of 3-dimensional things.
No.
And it's that 3 dimensions. The fact they stack up into, it's not technically a pyramid, but it's kind of like a pyramid.
I'll call it a pyramid.
Yeah, the fact that it stacks up like that makes it very, very different to other sort of puzzle type games.
Yes.
And then with the added pressure, I mean, the number of times I've got to the end, gone, yes, I've got no points because I messed up that.
Yeah. I think that's what I was
good.
doing constantly, building a pyramid and going, I haven't paid attention to anything.
And the game subtly encourages you to push because you get a point for each ball that's down in there.
Yeah.
You could only put down the first layer and then not put down the rest. So you'd get a point for each ball that's there. And then you wouldn't lose any points because you've not broken any rules. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
It's the number of balls that you put down minus the number of rules that you've broken.
Yeah.
Or 2 for each rule, I think. But someone else could put the whole pyramid in, break a rule, but still get more points than you.
Yeah.
If you get the whole pyramid down using one of each colour and not breaking any rules, you get a bonus token and they add up and give you extra points at the end as well.
It works as like a multiplier, I think.
Yeah, so the more times you do that in the 6 rounds, the better. And if you don't get any, it comes out of your points. So it does push you not to just do the bare minimum and go, yeah, I've done it. It does.
You got really...
Yeah. And you'll know in the 6th round that you need to get all of them down because that's the only way you've got a chance of beating these weird people whose brains work like that.
Yeah.
And so you're frantically, desperately trying to get it down. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's different to a lot of games we've played.
Yes, that's the big important part of it for me.
Yes, it's not like anything we've done before.
And the lovely demonstrator at the Board Game Expo very expertly took the timer out.
Yes,
took out some of the harder rules
Yeah.
and ran us through a couple of games and
Introduced it a bit.
sort of broke us in a little bit unless you're Colin and your face hurts anyway.
Didn't we kind of say to her, think of us like idiots?
We
and
did,
then
yeah.
Stop imagining us as idiots and just, we're idiots. Please teach us slowly.
Yeah, and she
very
wrote that
kindly
well.
went, no, you're not, it's fine, but I'll simplify things for you.
Yeah, so she treated us like idiots but told us we weren't, even though she was treating us like we were, but subtly. It was very kind of her.
But it worked because people bought stuff.
Yeah, we ended up with 2 copies of that for our gaming group.
Yeah.
Neither of which are mine, which is amazing to me.
True. Neither of which we've played since.
I've played
we
that
have.
one, several times.
Well, meh.
But because
know
it's
it hurts
4 player,
you,
because one went off with one person, one stayed with our gaming group.
Right, we've
because
got to have 4.
It's 4 player. We generally don't have 4 player gaming nights.
No.
And if we do, we play 2 games of Malifaux.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we were having that sort of gaming night, and
Yeah.
it was, if there were 3 of us and someone else who doesn't play those sorts of tabletop war games, definitely, we'd definitely look at that. Anything else we'd like to add?
I would say you can also play it against yourself.
Yeah, you
if
can.
you enjoy if you like the sound of that kind of puzzle game, but you don't have a gaming group or they're...
You just like to challenge yourself occasionally.
Yeah,
it feels
you
like
can.
doing not like a Sudoku because the principle's different, but that kind of self-challenging.
It's doing a puzzle.
Yeah.
The way it felt to me playing it, if you want to realise that your brain is actually a muscle, play it, realise part of the back of your brain hurts, come back to it a couple of days later, realise you're a little bit better at it, and then your brain starts hurting again.
It is the kind of thing I think, if you're really into puzzles, you could get very, very much into it.
Yeah, definitely.
You could get really into doing it. You could sit at home playing with your balls on your own.
Yeah. And then none of your friends will want to play because you've become that guy that's
Touched all your balls.
really good.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd try and get the last balls joking before we moved on. Away from the balls.
Balls.
Oh, we are such children. Okay, now we're probably going to be able to have as much fun with the next game.
Yep.
The next game that we thought we'd talk about is another sort of puzzle game.
Yep.
Bit more social. It's competitive, but also cooperative. It has a nice little twist to it. And that game, its name is Dixit. D-I-X-I-T. You love Dixit?
I do.
Yeah, I do love Dixit as well.
Although
Go for it.
it is. Well, it's. I'm shit at describing things. Brian, describe things because I'm awful at this.
Okay, so Dixit involves you sharing out a deck of cards. So you each have a hand of cards.
Yeah.
The person whose go it is will pick one of those cards, lay it face down so no one can see, and they will use a phrase or a word or a noise or an action to describe what's on that card. Everyone else will then pick a card of their own that they think matches that.
Yeah.
Put them in a pile. Everything gets shuffled together so you don't know whose is whose. You lay them out. The people whose go it is vote on which one they think belongs to the original player.
Yeah.
So everyone else, when they're picking their cards, they're trying to trick people into voting for them. Now, just when that sounds fairly easy, because you just think, I'll say something really obvious.
Yeah.
You don't want, as the player whose turn it is, to have everyone pick it.
Yes.
You get points if some people pick your card.
Yeah.
If no one picks your card, you've been too obscure, and everyone else gets points.
Yeah.
If everyone picks your card, you've been too obvious, and everyone else gets points, you don't get any points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the trick is to try and say something that some people will get and some people won't.
Yeah.
And the trick when you're putting things down is you're trying to get people to vote for you, because if they pick your card instead, you get points as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have this lovely box, and the game box is really nice, because the game box is also the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It has a little card bit that slots in the top.
Yeah.
And you have little wooden bunnies that are very, very cute.
Yeah.
And as you get points, they race around around the track, round the pond in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Which is quite lovely.
Which is very dream worthy.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
what the game
Now,
is,
a game
really.
like this, where it's all down to the pictures, because you get a set of cards with it, and there are dozens of expansions now,
Yeah.
and you can play this up to 12 people with one of the expansions.
Yeah.
Gives you
Yeah.
different colours for your bunnies and such like.
Yeah.
That might get a bit confusing with that many players. I think they changed the scoring slightly.
Yeah.
It makes it fair because you've got so many, but I think they changed some
It's
of
too
the
easy not to have everybody catch on to your thing. I would have thought 12 players.
Yeah, well, you're very less likely to have everyone guess your
12
thing.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The art cards are what makes it. And
Yes.
I'm not an artist,
No.
but one of us is. So Colin can run us through what he remembers of the art.
Yeah, it's not overly. It's quite simplistic art style. The kind of thing a refined child's drawing is what I think.
It reminds me of the illustrations in a children's book.
Yes,
from turn of the century, maybe up to the 1950s.
Yeah.
It's
I
full
agree with
of
that.
anthropomorphic mice with armour on,
Yeah.
and miniature things battling on chessboards, and dragons, and hot air balloons that could go on adventures. and
Climbing
things
a
like
ladder into the
Yeah,
clouds.
it's
Yeah.
very much a almost child's fantasy, really.
Yes,
the dreams you
yeah.
had as a kid. And I really love it because of the colours are all nice and calming. It really does feel like you're in a dream while you're playing, and I really, really like the artwork. It is very simple, but it's effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it works because of its simple. Too complicated.
Yes.
And you'd never know what anybody was
Yeah,
saying.
you don't want a picture of a knight
Yeah.
fighting a dragon with all the colours and rendering and everything else they put on it.
They're nice. They're abstract enough in a lot of respects that you can reference a lot of things with a single card.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got... There's enough background detail, and there's enough variation in the detail, and enough similarity between certain cards that it's not very, very easy or very, very difficult. It's got a nice balance in the main game box.
Yes.
We've played this with quite a lot of, I wouldn't say non-gamers because they're playing games, but people that don't board game or play those sorts of games regularly.
Yes.
And they've enjoyed it.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't played it with anyone yet who hasn't enjoyed it
Yeah.
and hasn't
that's
picked
true.
it up. I did find it's you kind of learn a lot about people while you're playing it, actually.
Yeah.
From what they pick and what you think their cards are, and actually what their cards are, is quite interesting from a psychological point of view.
Yeah, definitely. You're looking at a lot more abstract area of their mindset than something based on words would do.
Yeah, it's similar to when we talked about code names in our Skullduggery special.
Yes. Yeah, and yeah.
So why have you made those links? Oh, I kind of see that. Or
yeah, I mean,
I make references. You know that one other person's seen that film that this card reminds you of. You're sure they're going to recognise it if you say that.
Yeah, it's one of those. It definitely helps if you're playing it with people that you know at least fairly well, because then you can start going, right, I think that's their card, but I actually think that person is that person's card because of this reason, because of that thing he said 2 years ago, which has reminded me of that. Which I quite like, because it's interesting getting inside other people's heads and what are they thinking.
I do remember a few games where we sit there with the cards laid out on the table going, that can't be it, 'cause that's way too obvious for them.
Yeah. That's the other thing. It's as the player who's said the word or phrase and put their card down, it's quite fun to go, right, I think everybody will expect me to put this card down, so I'm going to put that card down because this and this person might get what I'm saying, but they won't because they weren't there at that. And I really like that.
We've had some movie references and things that where we know that certain people don't like certain movies, but one of the cards kind of leans towards that. We've had some D&D references, but quite often you're just trying to nudge a couple people that you know towards it. And you're then sat there hoping, I really hope they get that. I really hope that they've seen Labyrinth, or they remember that scene from Lord of the Rings where I'm referencing with the picture.
You're hoping some of your friends understand what you're talking about, but not all of them.
You're also kind of hoping that what you've referenced is open enough that somebody else is going to put a card down that also similar fits to it. Because you've got no idea what they've got in their hands, so you don't know if they've got cards that's going to fit your...
And there is a nice tension when you've got a set of counters to vote with, and we kind of put them in the middle and then flip them over and reveal them. And there is a nice tension in that moment, especially when you're the person that's laid things down, where you go, oh, and then you reveal what it was. And it has those little moments where you're not just playing the game, you're going, why did you put that down? Why did you vote for me? I just threw in any old card because nothing fit, and you voted for me. And they go, oh, well, I thought this and this. And you go, I'm a genius, without realising it. And I love games that let you talk and let you discuss as you go or afterwards, where you're like, why did this happen, or what happened?
How the hell did you get that link?
It builds conversation as well as having the game itself being the focus of attention. Your attention is also on the people and what they're doing, and you learn about them, as we said.
It's also really easy to insult everybody.
Yeah,
because I remember I put down a card, and when this is a really nice clever link, I will put this down. Nobody got the link, so I didn't get any points, and then I think it was one of our friends turned around and went, oh yeah, I saw the link, but I didn't think that was you because it seemed too clever. And I think everybody got that idea. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, cheers guys, I'll just go and sit in the corner with my skipping rope.
I mean, I remember one of the things we did, there's a picture that is a door without a wall opening onto what looks like a dungeon.
Yes.
And we'd been along to see the Nightmare live show. And two of the group didn't come. And so I said, you're in a room! Which is obviously the catchphrase from Nightmare. And only one of the people that are actually there got it, which is enough for me to get my points. But I was all really tense because I looked round and went, no one's got it. Oh, thank you, one person. And it's a nice, as I said, it's a puzzle game. Yes, it's a social game and you're interacting, but you're trying to put those links together. And it's a different part of your brain. You're thinking visually.
Yes.
And then you're thinking about, again, that abstract way. You're trying to connect. You're trying to put things together. You're trying to put links in there and that kind of thing. So I really like Dixit.
Yeah.
I really, really like it. I'd quite happily play that anytime anybody wanted.
Yeah,
It's
again,
a lot of
it's
fun.
not a very long game.
No.
Because you play until the deck of cards runs out.
Yeah.
Now the one... Oh, sorry.
Oh, so yeah, I was going to say the thing with it is when it ends, I've always wanted to carry on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I've never gone, oh, thank God that's over, or, oh, that was just the right time. I've always gone, I could quite happily play that again right straight away. Which is good for a game.
It is a game if you're playing with a group, a lot of the same people, you will need the expansions because
the cards
your brains get stuck in a certain mood.
Yeah, and the cards start repeating.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't played it that much, but I've started memorising most of the cards.
Yeah, we played half a dozen times, I think.
Yeah.
I would say there's one of them that's like a picture of a big feast of things.
Yeah.
And although I've forgotten it right now, I know if I saw that card, I'd make the Dungeons and Dragons reference to that card.
Heroes.
No, it was Heroes
Feast. Yeah, so it was Heroes was the one, because we had one player playing who wasn't a D&D fanatic.
Yeah.
And in fact, refused to play D&D until we tricked her into playing
Lords of Waterdeep.
Lords of Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Hi! Shout out to you. Our friend said that, and then every time that's come up, if there's been someone who's not a D&D player, that's the thing everyone says.
Yeah,
yeah,
and it's just stuck in the head. So it's hard to get out of that.
Yeah,
word
she starts
when you've got it.
associating those cards with those words, which you can't then break out of. So you do, if you're going to play it, I'd say more than half a dozen times, which you want to, because it is a fun game. You need to start getting the expansions.
Yeah, but I'd happily grab an expansion.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah.
And
I don't know what the card quality is like. We haven't looked at the expansions.
No, I would say it's. I think I've seen a couple of the cards, not the entire box, and they look as good as they are. And they seem to have different tones to them. The different expansions.
They've got different themes to the expansions.
One of them, I think the card I saw was actually quite dark.
Yeah.
In a still very 1920s child illustration, but in quite a... Oh, as a kid, this would be still light and fluffy, but as an adult, I can see, this is not a pleasant picture.
The Adventure Time style. Well, not style of picture, but that kind of... That kind,
yes, and I still really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I suppose, if you get bored of the cards there and can't get the expansion, you get some pornographic playing cards and play adult Dixit.
Yes.
My brain is just going, what could I actually say that wouldn't be exactly the same for every single card?
Yeah.
Vagina.
I may not have thought that through. I've just thought of that now. Now, a game that's very similar to Dixit, but kind of moves on and gives it a theme and a bit of a story. Because the two games we've looked at so far are kind of fairly abstract.
Yes.
There's no reason why your bunny's running around the table in Dixit.
No, it's just a nice, quaint fairy tale style thing.
And in Dimensions,
just a way of keeping score.
Yes. Yeah, Dimensions, you're just a ball stacker. You just love to stack some balls.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's what you're doing. Competitive ball stacking.
What I could have used for the pornographic playing cards.
Yeah. Dimensions. That's a weird clue. We've been playing quite a bit recently, actually. I only picked it up just before Christmas. Yeah. We've been playing Mysterium. Am I going to do the explanation of Mysterium?
You did the explanation for the other two. It seems fair.
We'll keep it consistent.
Yeah.
So Mysterium is like Dixit crossed with Cluedo.
Yes.
So you're there. The background story is it's the 1920s. Your characters are holding a séance on Halloween, trying to contact the spirit of someone who was murdered to find out who they were. Who killed them, where they killed them, and what they killed them with. So that classic Cluedo, person in the thing with the stuff.
Yeah.
Miss Scarlet in the greenhouse with the lead pipe.
Yeah.
So it's set sort of 30 years after the person was killed, and one of you plays the ghost.
Yes.
The ghost there'll be a selection of cards, and there's a lot of cards for each of the three different sections.
Yes.
There's a sort of 20 or so for each one. And so you've got the person, the location, and then the weapon.
Yeah.
The ghost will have cards that match the ones that are out in front, because you don't use all of them, you use more or less depending on the difficulty. The cards will have them lined up for each player, a set of cards, 3 of them, person, place and weapon. They then, very much like Dixit, they will pick cards from a deck, so they'll have a hand of cards, they'll pick some cards, and they will give them to the players around the table. Once they've given cards to the last person, they flip a timer, so it is timed, a little bit like Dimension, actually. So you've got that sort of that time pressure, and the players need to look at their cards and decide where. So first of all, who they think the person is. If they get that, then they move up, and then they've got to do the location. If they get that, then they get the thing. And each time they collect the card and keep it. So it becomes slightly easier. So if one of you's doing really well, they're helping out everyone else.
Yes.
Now the game is cooperative.
Yes.
So everyone is on the same side. So the ghost wants to give good clues.
Yeah.
The players want to help each other out and go, oh, I think this, or have you considered that, or this is an idea, or we're both on the same one, so it can't be both of us.
Yeah.
Why don't you try that, or I'll try this? There is a slight competitiveness.
Yes.
In that you get sort of hunch tokens that say yes or no. So if I think Aaron's making a ridiculous guess, I will put that down. Sorry, it's an intuition token. I'll put a cross down.
Yeah.
If the ghost then tells him that he's wrong, I will go up the intuition track.
Yeah.
And this is really important, because at the end of the game, as long as everyone's reached the end, because if not everyone reaches the end, the game is over and you've failed.
Yeah.
As happened to us last time we played.
We did.
We played our first medium difficulty game, and it was really hard.
Yeah.
I would have thought medium would be quite good for a spirit-based game. I'm sorry.
As you should be.
Yeah.
So the final phase is that the ghost will look at the cards in their hand and decide which player's collection actually is the murderer.
Yeah.
And actually is what really happened. And the idea is that as people at the seance, each card is a vision that you get. But you don't just get one card, you can get more, apart from in the final round where you just get 3.
Yeah.
Now, if you've been intuitive and you've got to the end quickly, or you have guessed and said, oh, I think Aaron's right, I think Colin's wrong, and that was correct, the more times you're correct, the more intuition you'll build up, the more of those cards you can see before you vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you want to get to the point where you're seeing all 3, which can be quite tricky, especially if you're like me, because I tend to race ahead, but I can never get other people right or wrong.
No.
So I tend to, most of my intuition points come from getting to the end early, and you get a bonus.
Whereas I find me and Aaron are the complete opposite, where we lag behind, but we always seem to get everybody else's.
Yeah.
We're just shit at our own, it turns out. Mainly because I think we listen to you lot.
Yeah, I think we put you off.
Next time, ignore them.
So, at the end, you then turn these cards over. Everyone votes at their time, so if you've been really unintuitive, you might only get 1 card, and then you've got to vote. But your vote counts the same as everybody else's, and you have to vote. And then you flip another one and another one. And it's a majority wins situation. If there's a tie, the person who's done best, so has the most intuition, breaks the tie.
Yeah.
And you all win or lose together, which I really like.
But you're not allowed to discuss that final section.
That last bit is done in silence.
Yeah.
And is actually rather tense.
Yeah. In essence, you've had the rest of the game to work out how the player who's playing the ghost thinks.
Yeah.
And you're hoping that the other players around the table have also grasped that this person likes colour, or this person is going to pick on this tiny detail in the background of the card.
Yeah, and the idea of those last 3 cards is one should relate to the murderer, one should relate to the location, and one should relate to the weapon.
Yeah, I've never done that.
But it's supposed to. That's how it's supposed to work.
Was I or was I not right?
Yeah, you were right for all the wrong reasons. You turned around last time we played and went, well, that one's that, and that's that, and that's that. And they went, no. But you got the right guess. Whereas I was wrong.
Yes.
Completely. Yeah, I really like Mysterium. It's a little bit complicated. That explanation you might need to listen to twice.
Yeah.
It's a little bit complicated the first time. If you've got, someone who plays it or has got it, or is the person who's read the rules, they should be the ghost first.
Yes.
But it's really nice because it's a very different game depending on which side of the little screen you're sat on.
Yeah.
If you're the ghost, you're trying to get into everyone else's mind and you're giving the clues.
Much like Dixit, you're going, right, I need to give them the clues.
Yeah.
Right, I need to give this person this card because they think like this, and I'll
Yeah.
give this person this card, and what the hell are they thinking? Why have they gone there? Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
right now I've got to find better cards for them because they're idiots.
Yeah. We have one friend who's I think's really good when we play this game because he plays the ghost in silence.
Yeah.
And it's a suggestion in the rule book to try and get into the spirit of the game. Spirit. Hey! And he knocks on the table, so he'll knock once for no, twice for yes.
Yeah.
So he'll just point at the individual players and it builds that atmosphere because you can't communicate with the ghost.
No, because he's dead.
And I've been the ghost. I've had to hide under the table because everyone's getting everything wrong, and I thought I might scream. And I'm not wanting to give anything away.
Yeah.
The best game of Mysterium we had, same player wore a scream mask from their Halloween costume that was kicking around.
And a sheet.
And a
And a
sheet
sheet.
over their head.
So you couldn't even read his facial features.
Yeah. That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
It was really good. And we did it, but we had no clues.
No.
Because he was covered in this sheet, so his body language was impossible to read. Couldn't see his facial features. All we got was pointing and knocking. It was quite sinister being pointed at and knocked at.
Now, given the clues might seem fairly simple, but like Dixit, you've only got... The ghost only has a limited hand of cards. They've got 7 cards.
Yes.
Every time they give a card out, they can draw back up.
Yeah.
On easy, it doesn't matter, but on medium and harder, you've got a limited amount of throw these old cult cards away and reshuffle.
Yeah. On the easy mode, you can do it once per round.
Yeah.
And you've got 7 rounds before the final bit if everyone makes it.
Yeah.
On medium, you can only do 3 times, and you have little crows that clip onto your board, which look quite cool. And on hard mode, you get 1.
Yes.
You get one.
Considering the medium game we played, all 3 of them were used, and we still lost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we've lost an easy game before as well.
Yeah.
Have we?
Yeah, I don't think you were there for that one.
No,
but
that's the only one I remember losing.
I've definitely lost an easy game as well. We got to the end, but we guessed it wrong at the end.
I think that's where a lot of players will fall down because you're all looking at these cards. You're not allowed to talk about what you're voting for. Then you vote for it and go, oh, balls, Jeff had the most intuition, so he gets to pick. And
he had no idea.
Jeff's an idiot. Oh, no. Yeah, we lost.
You were saying the artwork... It's very nice.
Yes.
They're all... The vision cards are abstract.
Yeah, extremely.
The character cards are sort of portraits of the characters, surrounded by items, often in a distinctive colour. They're the ones you guess first, and they're generally fairly easy.
Say that.
The locations are really detailed.
Yeah.
The cards, again, that you look at are really detailed, and again, quite strongly coloured. The cards that you use for the weapons are tiny little miniature playing card size, not the double size of everything else. So they're like a quarter size compared to the others. And they can be really tricky.
Yes.
I found they can be really tricky because they just have a picture of an item with a colour splash.
Yeah.
And that can be, especially as the ghost, you're going, how do I get them to pick the garden shears? I've got a picture of a balloon going over a field of spiky stuff. How does that work?
Yeah.
You might go, field, go on, do that, and then they pick something completely different. They go, the balloon's got a rope on it. It must be the rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were right about that.
Yeah, we were right on that one,
Yeah, because I went chains, it's like the rope, and you guys went, no, it's got hooks on the end, it must be the stabby thing.
Yeah.
And I was right and you were wrong.
Yeah, but then
at
when
the end,
he put the balloon up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you went, no, it can't be the rope. And
No.
we went, well, it's the rope.
I went,
He's
that's far too
obviously talking
obvious.
about the adventurer character when referencing that. I went, no, it's the ropes because there's loads of balloons.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah, and you've got a nice little cast. You've got like a sinister Sweeney Todd Barber looking guy.
Yes.
Who looks a bit like an evil weasel.
Yeah.
You've got
Nanny.
a nanny. You've got a female engineer. You've got a nice gender mix.
Mrs.
as
Potato
well.
Face.
Mrs. Potato Face.
Never
Yes.
forget Mark Hamill's wife. It's
The sad potato family.
there's a hunter.
There's a policeman
There's a
and a
police
postman
officer.
who I keep thinking is some kind of a military officer.
It's the guy who I can't decide if he's meant to be like a country squire or a gameskeeper or so. There's one guy I can't work out what he's meant to be.
He looks like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. When I first saw that card, I thought it was Sherlock. It was some kind of detective.
Yeah. But then he's got all these other, and I'm like, what is this guy? It's just a bloke, and if you get him, you're screwed.
Yeah. But yes, it's a fascinating game because very much like Dixit, you sit there working stuff out about people and going, that's really weird how they've made that connection.
Yeah.
How have they got to that? That's bizarre. Oh, that person's looking at colours. Well, they're dull.
Sorry.
Yeah, I remember having
don't like shapes. I thought we grasped this in the Micro Machines playthrough.
I remember having a particularly tricky round and having a handful of rubbish cards, so I dumped 4 on you, I think it was, Colin. Just a big handful of cards and threw them at you.
Yeah.
And you managed to flukily guess the right one. Like, there was no link. Yeah, it's good. And as the ghost, you're kind of listening to their chatter. You're really paying attention to what they're doing. It's not like you turn off and go to sleep for 5 minutes while they work things out. Because they're leaving you clues. They're talking about the characters. And if I go, well, that guy's definitely a gameskeeper, you might have gone, that's Sherlock Holmes, shut up. But you might then find a clue that's gameskeepery. Yeah. And you've got...
Aaron keeps talking about the colour of the sky is the same. Right, I
like large colours.
I better make sure there. That was a rude example, but it's quite funny. But
one
going
day
right,
we'll build you up to shapes.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, it's a nice thing, and I like the fact that it's cooperative.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're all in it together, and you can compete on the intuition track, but you want everyone to make it. You're not competing at the expense of someone.
No.
Everyone's involved all the way through. And last time when we failed, we still played the final round.
Yes.
Well, we did it for a bit of
fun.
And we won that bit.
We were with someone who hadn't played it before, so it seemed a bit harsh to go, right, that's it, we lost, we won't do the final bit.
Yeah.
You suck, thanks for making us lose, goodbye.
That
would have been me. It wasn't,
me.
I was it was, and...
I screwed up massively on the
I
final
I was misleading people, so I know that was definitely partly my fault.
Well, I went on about a bloody Greek myth for 20 minutes and refused to
That
budge.
made perfect sense.
It did make perfect. See, I convinced Aaron. Me and Aaron were quite happy in our corner going, well, that works. Sod everybody else.
Who was it who didn't make it?
Me.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
Hadn't I pointed out the correct one to you the previous turn and you still didn't believe
because I had my own mad thought.
Yeah. So we're all staring at Colin and I'm going, don't put it there, don't put it there.
Yeah, put it down and everybody's like crosses on the intuition thing. And he went, no, I'm definitely right.
Yeah. And there is a little story behind what's happening and you've got named characters. You have an individual sort of picture of your character as well.
Yeah.
In a sort of envelopey thing you tuck the other cards into as you pick them up.
Yeah.
It's really nicely made.
Yeah, it is.
It's high quality. The pictures are lovely. The pieces are nice and sturdy.
And there's a very, very accurate timing thing on the end of the box.
Yeah, It says that it should take 42 minutes. Now, bear in mind that you're giving out clues. You only flip the timer when you give out the last clue.
Yeah.
Unless we've read that wrong. We're certainly having a moment of panic.
We'll maybe have to turn the timer every time we give a clue out, maybe.
That's confusing. But yeah, so rounds can take different amounts of time. You've got the deciding, you might take this, but they've all taken about 42 minutes.
Yeah, it's weird.
Give or take 5 minutes either side.
Yeah, it's not been it's not like Malifaux where it goes, right, this will take about an hour.
Yeah.
7 hours later we're still playing.
Even where we've played a 6-player game with 5 players and a ghost, it's taken about the same.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's scarily accurate.
It is.
It's like it's psychic.
Yes.
Copyright strike.
Yes, yeah. Excellent. So that was 3 of our favourite puzzle games.
Yes.
We've got Dimension, sort of competitive, very abstract, 3D kind of puzzles.
It's just balls.
It's just balls. Which Colin's not a fan of, but we'll try again.
Oh, yes, I think if I played some more of it, I'd actually go, oh, I like this and I'm not bad at it. But for now, it's just balls.
Yes. And potentially, it might make you better at your uni work.
Who knows?
Yeah, it might. If you sit there playing with your balls more often, you might get more work done.
That's
no one has ever said.
No.
Dixit, we love for the cutesy graphics.
Yeah.
It's just pictures.
It's just pictures, yeah. It's just Dixit. And it has a little bit of competitive... I mean, I always win at Dixit. I don't think I've lost a game yet.
I've beaten.
Oh, you beat me once,
yeah,
didn't you?
Yeah, by a fucking mile as well.
I wiped that one because that doesn't count. I was second.
Yeah, but I was first by a lot.
Yeah,
it was way up there.
Damn you and your... It's because they're flat. You're good at things that are flat. We need 3D Dixit.
I like pictures. There you go. That's more like
we can all have our collections of models and... that wouldn't work. No, my brain hurts.
There with your hand up here.
Yeah, but for a slightly more involved, more complex version of Dixit with a sort of cooperative puzzle-solving edge, give Mysterium a go. Can't recommend that game enough. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, just mutism.
Yeah, okay. Just ghosts.
Just ghosts. Yeah. Just sad cards.
So, in the spirit of the medium, if you like what we've done, if you like the podcast, please make sure to subscribe so you know when we've made more. We do one every Tuesday.
We do.
You can leave a like, because that magically makes people find it on the internet.
That makes us happier.
Yes. We do get excited. We message each other when we get likes.
Yeah.
Or you could even leave a comment.
We could talk to you.
Yeah. Prove that there are people out there.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Some kind of mass hallucination that we share.
Exactly.
So thank you for listening. Until next time, I've been Brian.
I've been Colin.
And I've been Aaron.
We've been the Critical Twits. Bye.
Bye.